2 rounds of Grand National Cross Country Championship ATV racing are in the books. 2 different winners to start the season, and a new star may be on the rise. Walker Fowler has gained control of the championship points, but Hunter Hart is not far behind, leaving to question how much longer before the heart attack begins. Round 3 of America's premier off-road racing championship is next.
Are you ready to go GNCC racing?
Hello again, and welcome to round number 3 of America's premier off-road racing championship, the 2021 GNCC series presented by Specialized and AMA National Championship. This is the Specialized General GNCC from Aonia Pass in Washington, Georgia, a long-standing staple on the GNCC Tour. As we kick this 3rd round of racing off, we look back to just 7 days ago in the sands of Florida, where we saw a great start by the young Hunter Hart. Not only a great start, but a 2nd consecutive great race to the 2021 championship season, as he held tight with the leaders for a good part of the race day again. And this time he latched on and even led at times over Walker Fowler, the number 1 and eventual race winner. But wow, what a day for the number 7 machine. And Hunter Hart is going to be taken seriously as far as competition by Walker Fowler and Bryson Neal and the rest of the GNCC hopefuls as well. As you can see, he's latched on to Walker, and through probably better than half the race, this is where Hunter Hart rode. We saw a little bit of a gap open up there, as it wasn't much, but it gave an opportunity for Bryce Neal to get around Hunter Hart. He caught up to Walker Fowler. Fowler into the pits, takes a rather nonchalant pit stop. He did have a little bit of breathing room, but not a whole lot. A fresh pair of goggles and a full tank of fuel as he takes off. Bryson Neal checking in, and of course, as Neal was getting things sorted out there with his fresh tank of gas and a fresh pair of goggles, it looked like the young Hunter Hart actually getting in and out of his pit stop a little bit quicker, which paid huge dividends. May have caused some issues for Bryson Neal as well, and forced him into a mistake, which caused a mechanical issue, took him out of the race, and will open the door for this rider right here, Walker Fowler, to take an uncontested win at round number 2 in a state that he is very comfortable in, where he spends several months a year in the off-season training. And of course, Hunter Hart ended up coming across the line in 2nd, with Cole Richardson in 3rd. As we said, problems from Bryson Neal, a DNF scoring 0 points, which opened the championship points race up hugely in Walker Fowler's favor.
Oh yeah, hey, you know what? I think we just got lucky. That's all there is to it. We got lucky. So that's all it takes to win a championship. That's all it takes to win races, a little bit of luck. So I got lucky. Hopefully I get lucky a couple more times in my career.
Well, you make your own luck according to what they say, and Walker's made some great luck for himself. Can he continue to do so on this 11.5-mile course during 2 hours of racing through the clay of Georgia, mixture of clay? Well, we got that, we got roots, we got rocks, got a little bit of everything out here. And Walker Fowler grabbing the early lead with the Gator Adam McGill back in the number 2 position. That's a good place for the 521. And coming out of Florida just a week ago, you know that a lot of these riders are probably nursing some wounds, some sore hands and things of that nature. So this will be interesting to see how this one sorts out. Traditionally, GNCC is at least 2 weeks apart to give the body and the machines time to heal up. But this is one of those races at the early swing of GNCC that are back-to-back. It rarely happens any other time throughout the course of the season, unless there has to be some rescheduling on occasion. We go down to the XC2 Pro-Am class, which has been a rather interesting class and battle itself. Wyatt Wilkin and Ronnie Rush have been some major players in that one. Also, Brandon Owen going to be a major player in this one, it looks like, as Ronnie Rush may have gotten to the early lead once again. They were a lot of riders side by side, but it looks like the 714 has posted point once again in the XC2 Pro-Am class to kick things off, this time in round number 3. There are a lot of riders looking for wins in that class and to take control of that championship. Look at that. There's a 6-time GNCC champion, and that was Chris Borich on the number 5 machine, riding a little different color machine, moving up into the number 2 position. Some say he's still got wins left in him. We'll have to wait and see if today happens to be one of those. Stick around to find out. GNCC continues after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAV TV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo E-Bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Welcome back to Washington, Georgia at the Georgia Motorplex, also known as Aonia Motocross Park. And, of course, they got that lovely round track there for flat track and TT racing, the moto track, and, of course, this beloved Woods Loop that we know and love as the GNCC. Walker Fowler leading this one. Round number 3 once again off and rolling. It is the Specialized General GNCC. The battle for second waging on as McGill is back up to the number 2 spot. We saw briefly there a few moments ago Chris Borich had gotten around into the number 2 spot. He's dropped off to the number 3 position. There, the 5th place ride, the number 3 of Cole Richardson, the 6th place, the number 7 of Hunter Hart. And there is Bryson Neal. So Bryson Neal's got some ground to make up in this one, it looks like, and starting out behind the 8 ball here in round number 3 today, as well as the number 7 of Hunter Hart. Now, the good thing about that for Hart is if he can hook up with Bryson Neal, those two can probably work their way through the pack. He can learn a few more things, 3 races in a row, and become even more of a threat as far as this championship is concerned. But right now, the biggest threat is out front, Walker Fowler, and he is stretching things out over the 2nd place ride of Adam McGill. McGill's still feeling some pressure back there by McClure. McClure's gotten around from the 4th place position of Chris Borich, now Cole Richardson. So it looks like now in the 5th place is the number 2 of Bryson Neal. We see that Chris Borich has dropped all the way back to 6th. Hart is still in the 7th place position. So some changes taking place back there as far as this XC1 Pro class is concerned. And Bryson Neal, man on a mission right now. Hunter Hart needs to catch up if he wants to be that threat and cause the Hart attack to happen here today in Georgia. The way that kid's been riding, you know it's coming soon, folks. Wow. Very tightly knit. These woods are dry. You know, oftentimes we come here in this time of year, the woods are very, very moist and very, very wet. Oftentimes folks are saying we may have to cancel because it's so moist, but it's usually perfect. Today, a little farther from perfect than normal, but dry is a good thing here in Georgia. Wow, 4th place, Cole Richardson has got a great eye on that battle for that 2nd place position right now. And we see that Hunter Hart can still not make up much ground. He has gotten around Chris Borich now, so Borich drops off to the number 7 position. And wow, that ATV race is really heating up. Be exciting to see how it all pans out. We are at the Specialized General GNCC, and this was the first round of the Specialized EMTB GNCC series where, well, all the key players were back out for us once again. Hot Rod Charlie Mullins. We had Cypress Gorey with us, Kyle Smith, Nick Mackey, John Ayers Jr., just to name a few. And, of course, the man on point once again was the 112 of Charlie Mullins. He was virtually untouchable in this first round of EMTB GNCC, so it leads one to wonder, will anyone rise to the occasion to knock Hot Rod off the top stoop? But right now, he's enjoying the, well, I believe the ease of the wins, but looking forward to any competition that may be coming his way anytime soon. But congratulations to Charlie Mullins as he wins another EMTB GNCC. Welcome back to the Grand National Cross Country Championship Specialized General GNCC as we pick some action up from early in the day with our youth ATV racing every Saturday morning. Youth riders kick it off with micro ATVs and then, of course, youth ATVs. And this is what we've been keeping an eye on as of lately. Caden Lambruno, Caden Spires, and a few guys have really been going at it. But this time around, Tavin Cook finally pulls one out of the hat.
So we were coming through some woods. It was getting all sketchy and stuff like that. We were bumping and banging all the way through to the last lap. And we hit a lapper, and he hit a tree, and I hit him too, and then I just got out of there faster than he could, and I just pulled away. From
9th place to 1st place from Waterloo, New York, Tavin Cook takes the win over Caden Spires. Caden Lambruno in the number 3 spot. Ty McGay 4th, and Harrison Lindsay rounds out the top 5. It looks like a little strategy work going on by the Bryson Neal pits as they're trying to sort out what's going on. Walker Fowler with a fairly monumental lead right now, about 45 seconds back to their rider who is currently running in the number 3 position. And I know they're trying to make up some time, and they have made up some time, but Walker Fowler has really laid down some laps in the early part of this race. He got out front early and was able to stretch things out. And this is where Walker Fowler is most lethal. The last couple laps of racing are going to tell a big tale of what's going on as well, as we are approaching the halfway point of this race right now. Bryson Neal has gotten around for the number 2 spot around Jared McClure, it looks like. Now, what happened to the 521 of Adam McGill, who's gotten lost by the wayside, and Coltrane moving into the number 4 spot has now gotten around for the number 3 position as he's caught up to Bryson Neal. Don't know what happened to McClure in that last little section of race course, but there is the number 3 now solidly in the number 3 position. So he's laying chase to Bryson Neal. These two could maybe bridge that gap between themselves and Walker Fowler, but again, we're still looking at about a 40-second gap between 1st and 2nd place position as we are just now past the halfway point, and these riders should be coming in for a pit stop pretty soon to get some fuel. We'll get a better account of what's going on when they do that and an idea of what's taking place as far as this battle is concerned, and maybe get some answers to what's going on with some of those riders back there now, like the 521 of Adam McGill and the number 4 of Jared McClure. And there is a big gap now opening up back to the number 3 and 3rd place ride of Cole Richardson. So it looks like that Neal definitely on the move. Wow, Walker Fowler in disbelief that he's got a lead quite like he does right now, but he's off and rolling. 40 seconds, I believe, is what the last count that track crew is telling us that they have as far as that gap between 1st and 2nd place position. Finally into the pits comes Bryson Neal. Not a lot exchanged other than just simply 40 seconds. He puts his head down, grabs a little bit of that film strip off the goggles, and off and rolling he goes now. So Bryson Neal laying chase. He's got a 40-second gap, and he's also got the Coltrane latched on as they work their way through these Georgia woods. Walker Fowler working his way through some lap traffic as well as the race course itself. So the lap traffic is going to be getting a little thicker. We're kind of heavy on riders, a little over 300 riders on the race course. A long race course, and that's one thing that's going to help out quite a bit. I'm going to say I don't think that gap was quite that 40-second gap we were looking at a few moments ago. We may be seeing that start to tighten up now between 1st and 2nd. There's Walker Fowler. We'll see if we can get a visual on just exactly how close things are here. Fowler goes through. He's got some lap traffic between himself and the 2nd place position, and folks, not far behind, about 15 seconds or so, is the number 2 of Bryson Neal, and another 5 seconds or so behind him is Cole Richardson. Richardson really becoming quite a big factor in these podiums himself a lot this season and last season as well, so he's becoming the opponent I believe that Walker Fowler was anticipating and expecting him to be. And look at that, nope, that is not 15 seconds. It's not 30. It's not 40. It's more like 10 seconds if it's that. Bryson Neal has caught up and is well within sight of the number one of Walker Fowler. As we've got ourselves a battle, folks. And as we near the completion of this one, still a lap or so to go on this, it's getting very exciting. Can Bryson Neal make things happen here in Georgia after the DNF just 1 week ago? He has got some redemption to make out here today. There is no doubt about that. Walker Fowler, your leader. Bryson Neal in the number 2 spot as they work their way not only through the track but through a very thick field of riders here today in Georgia. The fans are psyched about what's going on. They are witnessing history taking place here at round number 3 today as Bryson Neal, a man on a move, and the new leader as he is leading Walker Fowler through this last section of race course now. Bryson Neal has got just over a lap of racing left to go. Can he hold this point? Will he be able to stretch things out over Walker Fowler as they try to work through this thick lap traffic here today in Georgia? As you can see, the course is a rough and rugged one, and the riders are out in full force. Who's going to come out on top of this one? Well, stick around to find out. GNCC continues after this.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAV TV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by Yamaha, revs your heart.
Welcome back to Washington, Georgia's Aonia Pass. Rodney Tomlin along with you as we bring you the final lap of Grand National Cross Country Championship ATV racing. And it looks like Walker Fowler has gotten out front of Bryson Neal now. These guys have gone back and forth the last couple of laps, but it looks like the champ has re-solidified the number 1 position. Not sure what's going on out there. I know there's a lot of lap traffic. We saw Bryson Neal track down Walker Fowler from a 45-plus second deficit back in 3rd place. He got into the second around Cole Richardson and then laid chase and was able to bridge that gap. And now as we head toward the finish line, final few turns, and Bryson Neal is on the rear wheels of Walker Fowler at the checker flag. Fowler will take the win, win number 62.619, 6/10 of a second separating those two riders as they made their way across the finish line in an epic battle of GNCC ATV racing. And sounds like some excitement out on the track as these two seem a little bit discombobulated right now. Let's check in.
I knew Bryson was going to be coming hard, so I just tried to, keep that gap, and I knew it was going to dwindle a little bit. He always rides good here, and there's a mud section we run every year. I followed Bryce into it. There's a bunch of lappers stuck, and he goes into it, and a log that they were using to fill the rut went through his A-arm, I think, and he went over the bars pretty hard, and I ran up right on him. The lady that was helping him fell between us, and her husband thought I hit her or that I pushed her, and he sucker punched my freaking goggles out of my face, said, "Don't touch my wife," punched me again. That one hurt. But I took it like a champ, and I said, "Sir, I didn't touch anybody. Please get out of my way. He couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go anywhere." And they just stood there, and I can't believe that did we win? Are we even first and second? We sat there, Bryson, I don't know how long we sat there, but I'm just sick to my stomach right now. Honestly, if someone would have hit him, I'd have been just as upset. And I know he's not happy about it. It really... Getting stuck's one thing, but having fans that I thought were going to help us start blocking us and interfering with the race. We're lucky that we even got first and second. And it's just, I hate that good of a battle ends like that. I'm sick to my stomach, and I'd really like to have words with the man that touched me. I'd really like to.
Well, first time I ever heard anything like that happening on the GNCC trail. It was quite shocking, but wow, what an epic race. Let's get it from Bryson Neal's perspective.
Being 45 seconds down and being able to run him down and put in some really good laps. Program's working really great. I'm in a really good spot. The last race is out of my hands, but
we're just trying our best here. You know, we want to win. We want to do our best. It's what we strive for. We really want to win bad. So this one sucks, you know, but we'll take second. We crossed the finish. We need 10 more strong rounds, and we'll focus on regrouping, trying to get some better starts and get some more wins.
Well, that's what he's got to do if he wants to be a threat for the championship. Right now, Walker's got a little bit of breathing room as far as that concerned, and consistency will pay huge dividends, there's no doubt. Fowler taking the win, Neal in second. Jared McClure takes third. Let's check in.
Yeah, I really didn't know anything about what was going on up front. I was with those guys first 2 laps, and Cole got around me. I let him by because Bryson was starting to pull, so I figured I'd let Cole go, and maybe me and him could roll together. And I just tried to sneak a little line and bump the tree, like a little root sucked me into a tree. Dumb mistake, but fell back a little bit from them guys and pretty much rode myself. And then Adam closed up on me, and it was just like Florida all over again. Had the gator behind me for the last 2-3 laps, and it was fun. We went back and forth. Happy with third. I mean, it was a long winter up north, and it feels good to just get down here and ride. I mean, I think I was just so pumped to ride on dirt that, that's why I did well.
Well, Jared McClure, another one of those riders that don't get the opportunity to do a lot of traveling in the off-season to train. He does it all at home in Casca, Pennsylvania. As we kick this one off today, it was the number 1 of Walker Fowler with the early lead. A great start by the Gator, Adam McGill, as well as the number 4 of Jared McClure getting off to a great and strong start out there. Saw a good jump and good push in the early goings there by the number 5 as well of Chris Borch, making that pass around the 521 into the number 2 position. And then we saw Borch drop off to about 7th or 8th by the race's end, but nonetheless a good early race push by him. Up front, Walker Fowler pretty much rode by himself the entire day. And I'm going to say that until probably the final lap of racing, because all the racing basically going on behind him. One of the riders we expected to see up front and challenging with 2 great consistent runs in the first 2 rounds was Hunter Hart. He had his struggles here today, but still a solid top 10 finish, so be looking for him to come back in round number 4. But as we look here at round number 3, we see that Walker Fowler again enjoying as much as a 45-second lead at one point over the field, and then we saw that one stretch down with less than 2 laps to go as Bryson Neal moved into position. And right here at the finish line, it looked like that a possibility loomed for Bryson to make the pass, but it didn't happen. 0.619, that's 0.6 of a second separating those 2 riders. Walker Fowler snags win number 62, and we move on to round number 4. For the latest GNCC news and notes, be sure and visit GNCCRacing.com. On behalf of all of us here in the GNCC Racing Nation, I'm Rodney Tomlin. Have a great day, everybody.